to follow behind Corporal Melvin Frank in the United States Marine Corps.
All right, Russ.
On behalf of our director and our staff, we would like to extend our most sincere and deepest condolences to each of you on the loss of your loved one. Please feel free to move around freely if you want to.
Detail! Officer! Hot!
At this time, please be prepared to protect your hearing if need be.
Low! Ready! Aim! Fire! Ready! Aim! Fire! Ready! Aim! Fire!
Please draw your attention to Corporal Frank and the United States flag for the sounding of taps. Please take your seats.
Marine Corps and a grateful nation. Please set this flag as a symbol of our appreciation for your loved one's honorable and faithful service. Thank you so much.
More people feel comfortable in showing up and celebrating Mel's wonderful long life that he lived. But I would like to open this up for a few minutes, if we have a little bit of time, to just, if you want to speak about a fun memory of Mel, or just something that was very memorable. And I know there's a lot of things because he touched each of us in so many different ways. I know, Tony, you're probably the longest friend that's here today. Would you mind saying a few words?
I met Mel in 1989 in Hayward, California, at a bar called the Turf Club. We became real close friends, and I even helped him move from Hayward to Palm Springs, California. There were times we didn't think his truck would climb the hills, but we made it. I also was his roommate when he lived on Alejo in Palm Springs. One thing I don't think a lot of you knew, Mel loved to dance. We used to go to Toucans once a week to dance. He really loved to dance. He was one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. And I'm going to miss him terribly. And I know you will too. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Anyone else would like to come up and say a few words about Mel? I'll tell you, the last few years, me and Mel got to do a lot of fun things together. And we were on a cruise. It was a couple cruises ago where they do a celebration of military people on one night. And we went in and they were asking the crowd of people, they said, you know, stand up if you've been in the Navy. And he stood up with several other people. They said, okay, and everyone celebrated them. They said, have a seat. They said, stand up if you've been in the Marines, and he stood up. And they celebrated all those folks, and they said, okay, have a seat. And then stand up if you've been in another branch of the service, and he stood up. A lot of people thought he was confused, but he wasn't. He had been in 3 different branches of the service, and he was very proud of his military service. I know you saw him a lot of times wearing a military ball cap. He had one in the back window of his car. He was happy and proud to be a veteran and a World War II vet, and like most of you, we're gonna miss him dearly. It's gonna be sad not having those phone calls with Mel, those conversations. Monday was a standing lunch with Mel, and we're just not gonna have that with him anymore. So I'm like you guys, we're gonna miss him dearly. Anyone else would like to speak or say anything? Okay, if there's nothing else, then I guess we'll conclude today. I will keep everyone updated. I'll let you know when we plan a more formal celebration of life ceremony for him. But thank you guys so much for coming and letting us see Mel off today. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
So this will conclude our service here today at Riverside National Cemetery. Did you want to say something, sir? Okay. I'd like to say again, it is an honor that you've chosen Riverside National Cemetery as Mr. Frank's final resting place. And it was truly an honor and a privilege to be with you all today during this difficult time. And I thank each and every one of you. In the event that you show up and you're unfamiliar with our grounds or where your loved one will be laid to rest, be advised up at the very front of our cemetery, at our front doors, just to the right-hand side, we do have a kiosk. That one is available during the operating hours of our grounds. Our grounds are open and available to our families 365 days a year from sunrise to sunset, rain or shine. A little tidbit I like to add is, when you come in, you don't ever have to ask permission or check in with anyone. You don't have to tell us who you're here to see or how long you plan to be here. Our grounds are maintained for our families and our veterans in the hopes that our families do come back to enjoy them as they would their very own home with that same comfort. In regards to visiting Mr. Frank's site today, we do respectfully ask that you hold off until after 4 p.m. My interment team does have until 4 p.m. to lay to rest each veteran or spouse that has come in today. So after 4 p.m. we can ensure a safe and uninterrupted visit for you at Mr. Frank's site. Any day moving forward from sunrise to sunset, again, you're welcome. The very last thing that I do like to make mention of before we all go our separate ways is the American flag. So aside from the one that you're holding in your hands here today, the one up at the very front of our cemetery is flying at half staff. Our flag flies at half staff from our very first service of the day until our very last. The reason why is because here at Riverside National Cemetery, we mourn over the loss of our brothers and our sisters in arms, and we give honor and recognition to each and every one of them. So today as you exit the cemetery, please make one last final and very proud conscious mention of that flag. Today it is flying at half staff on behalf of the bravery, the service, and the sacrifice provided to us by Corporal Melvin Frank in the United States Marine Corps and the Navy. What was his third branch of
Merchant
service?
Marines.
The Merchant Marines, there we go. He liked water, I see.
Yeah.
Again, thank you all so very much for attending services here today. It was a pleasure to be of service to you all. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out.